Hi and welcome to video number 3 on the Pilates classes. Today I'm going to do a normal class as what I would do with my beginners. So we're going to start straight away. As you can see, I'm outside trying to get in between rain showers. But we'll start working with the core stability to begin with. So as we have said before in Pilates, everything we do involves around the core muscles, which in effect then strengthens up the spine. So we want to make sure initially that we are holding ourselves in. So if we stand, putting our heels together in what we call Charlie Chaplin feet, and just come back and move the heels out so that your feet are parallel. So these are hip width apart, coming up through the calves into the quads. From the quads, thinking about the pelvis. We're just going to take a minute to do a pelvic clock exercise whereby we are in fact moving the pelvis forward and then moving it back. So just place the hand on the tummy, place a hand on the back and pretend that you are in a sheet of glass, and then literally moving back, moving forward, pushing through the hips, trying to isolate the pelvic girdle, not to move through the legs. Once you've come forward, just now clock back 3 notches. So it's like a 1, 2, 3, and we should then be in a position where we are what we call pelvic neutral. Slight curve on the back because we want to work with the natural spine, but also now think about the belly button and think about pulling it inwards and upwards. So thinking of the core muscles from the back passage all the way through to the front, squeezing inwards and upwards, bringing yourself into the belly button. Keep your arms by your sides now and moving inwards and upwards, straight up to the chest, placing the shoulders back and down through the scapula. So now we're being pulled from the top of the head and pulling out lengthways. I'm going to come back and face you so that we can now do some exercises together. So hands down by the sides, zip, inwards, upwards, and now both arms coming forward, keeping the shoulders low, coming up to the ears. Soften the knees a little bit, take the arms backward, point to the sky, exhale, holding out, squeeze between the scapulas, squeeze, and coming down. So let's prepare. Inhale. As you inhale through the nose, zip, bring the belly button to the spine, breathe out, exhale, coming right up to the ears. As we get to the ears, hold it, inhale and breathing out, exhale, hold, stretch. These are just stretches to warm up into what we call start. Inhale, holding up, exhale, taking out, lower the shoulders, squeeze between the scapula. Imagine you've got a pencil between the shoulder blades. One more, zip, inhale, all the way to the top, hold, exhale, hold, stretch, trying to touch and lengthen the sides of the walls where you are. Now shrug the shoulders, round the shoulders back, and now bring the shoulders forward. And as you're doing this, then we're going to do just some shoulder shrugs. So this is now up and down, up and down. One more, just releasing any pressures in the shoulder. Now coming through from the feet, so I just want you to look at your toes and try to take the toes from the outside, little toes, all the way through to the big toes. It's called the Mexican wave, and you can try to reverse it, so you may find it easier to lift up the big toes and then place the little toes, middle toes, down to the little toes. This really does help promote toe flexibility. So lifting the toes, let's start again, little toe, up and down, and then just scrunch the toes, and then coming straight up, what we'll do some calf work, is that all I want you to do now is think about pulling through the calves, pulling through the glutes. So imagine you've got a tennis ball in between your ankles. If you've got a tennis ball, that's fantastic, you can use that. And now squeeze the glutes. Zip, belly button to spine, and lifting. So we don't want to come forward, we just want to lift through, so we're just going to stretch out, coming down, stretching the calves one way. Trying not to move forward, squeezing the glutes, pulling upwards, coming straight up onto the toes. This time as you come down onto the heels, and now sit back, a little knee bend, and not much more. So I'm going to take that from the sideways so you can see that we're not doing a squat. All we're doing is literally pushing back into the heels and stretching the calves out. Particularly important as we've been sitting down and not being able to get out and do any walking. So as we come up, literally squeeze and lift and come up and then come back down, and again don't stick the bottom out, just keep sliding down the wall, pushing the weight back into the heels, stretching the calves. From here, zip, straight back up. So now we hold it onto the toes, squeezing, coming back down. And one, sit down, keep the shoulders back, belly button to spine. And one more, up, and then coming back down, literally squeeze shoulders back and literally push through the calves. Now turning back to face you, we're going to now work the quads, and we're going to go into what we call our ski jump squats. So again, coming back into our Charlie Chaplin style feet. As we know, this will continue to squeeze the calves together, and hopefully actually you'll see the light shining between my legs, which will show you where the muscles should be meeting. So your calves, knees, so you should have two gaps of light through there, which I'm very glad to say that I have. And now just squeezing up, just taking the heels out. This is your hip width apart. So now we're going into a little squat. So I want you to think about pushing the bottom butt out. So again, from the sideways, just push the bottom out so the knees aren't coming way over the ankles. And then we're going to come down, do a little squat, push down, and come up. Squeeze up, and then push, breathing out, keeping the weight equal onto the feet. So again, pushing back, keeping your tummy, push right in, up, and then one more, pushing up and coming down. And again, coming forward, holding it out, pushing and squeezing all the way down. Around that, and just shrug up again. So now we'll think about the hips. So now I want you to think about focusing and literally pulling your way all the way through the top of the head. Squeezing whichever leg you want to do first. Coming up, and what we call pony. So this is now a table leg with a right angle knee and with a slight point. Holding onto the tummy, so I don't want you to be thinking about leaning. And it may be if you've got a window like I have here on my left, I can look and catch my reflection to see if I'm leaning. If you are and you can't lift the leg, my suggestion is that you will grab either a chair or wall and just literally two fingers, just keep your balance and keeping that level, and then literally lifting the leg. I want to get the glute to work and the standing quad. So from here, you can now do an extension. So hold it and extend. Now this is strengthening the quad, lengthening the hamstring, bring it back in and take it back down. And I'll do that from the side as well. So literally pulling up, extension, back and down. Two more on that side, so I'll take it from the other side. So again, up, extend, up, and then down. One more. Inhale, zip, belly button to spine, extend the leg, pulling it through, bringing it down. Okay, so we'll now do that on the other leg. So for me, I'm going to do this on my right, but depends on where you are. So again, we'll do 4 ponies just for you to see if the hips are moving. Remember, our hips have got our little headlights on. They've got to stay normal. They've got to stay literally neutral. So again, zip, belly button to spine, squeezing the standing leg, coming back down. Inhale, exhale, and bring it back down. And again. And then one more. And now we'll go for the extension. So I'm going to turn around and face this way. Again, if you need to hold on to something, a chair or wall, just to be able to ensure that you're not wobbling, you're coming out, extend, hold, bring it back in and down. So inhale, extend, hold, bring it back down, keep the shoulders back, belly button to spine. Inhale, exhale, hold, and down. And one more. Inhale, exhale, hold, inhale, and down. And again, just shake the hips out. Do that. I never like working on the mat. I much prefer to work on the surface, particularly when I'm doing standing work, because it does actually cause quite a bit of instability. However, due to the rain, I've not been standing on the balcony at all, so that was slightly more difficult. So keep working on that. Keep working on your glute stability. So one more, we're going to do a rotation exercise. So we'll just relax to begin with, bringing out to hip width apart, and just now holding out the hips, and make sure the hips are facing forward. Relax the arms, and just let the arms flop over, taking the neck with you to look over the back shoulder, breathing out. So we'll do a 3, 2, 1. It's one of the areas that we don't exercise enough. We get a lot of thoracic tightness, i.e. tightness between the shoulder blades. So now we're going to bring up, and you're going to take the hands into a crossed position, looking at your top arm where your watch would be. And I want you to soften the knees, zip, belly button to spine, inhale, and as you exhale, all you're going to do is turn the top half of the body, keeping your neck in line with where the watch would be, and bring it back. We're just working this rotation purely on the top half of your body. Do not let your hips go with it. So inhale, zip, exhale, and just feel the stretch coming through. You may find you're tighter than one way or another. Exhale, hold, bring it back in, inhale, exhale, feeling the tightness of the spine there. Okay, we're only going to do a couple of those because I want to get down onto the floor and to do some work on our core. So, we're now going to do our freestanding roll down. For those of you who attend my classes, you'll know that I do like to do this against a wall to begin with. So if you have got a wall there, I haven't, so I'm just going to pretend that there's a hole for a wall here. I want you to take the feet slightly forward and lean against the wall. So as you lean against the wall, I want you to think about trying to find your spine all the way onto the wall. So again, how do we work out the gaps in our back, trying to flatten the spine against the wall? This is always a really good way of preparing for this work. And you're just going to hold the shoulders back, squeeze, chin to chest, zip, belly button to spine, and as you breathe out, you're going to roll the shoulders forward and peel the vertebrae, one vertebrae at a time, off the wall, all the way down, being aware that some areas might try and jump. As you get to the bottom, inhale, zip, round the shoulders, literally press the vertebrae back on the wall, exhale, breathe out, because you have to breathe out to get the belly as flat as you can, to push the lower back onto the wall. As you come up, the last bit should come up with your neck, holding out. Inhale, chin to chest, round the shoulders. Exhale, just pull and peel each vertebrae off the wall, all the way down. So we'll have done this 2 times, preparing for a freestanding roll down. So again, push the back down, breathing out, pulling it back, pull the shoulders back, keep the spine onto the wall. And now coming back down, we will go inhale. As you exhale, chin to chest, round the shoulders, sucking the belly, pulling through vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way down. So now we're coming down, and as we're freestanding now, it's exactly the same. You should feel the stretch into the hamstrings and literally roll the arms, circle the arms, keeping it nice and tight there. And the other way, keep the chin in, keep the chin, chest all locked around. And one more, inhale. As you exhale, rolling up through the spine, suck in the belly, push the vertebrae back, the lower spine, mid-spine, thoracic spine, and then round the shoulders. This time we're going onto the floor, so chin to chest, round the shoulders. Again, suck in the belly, just squeezing the air out of the belly, allowing the spine to become more flexible. And you should find out by the 4th time that you've got slightly more flexibility. And now coming down into a high armed plank or Pilates plank. So if your bottom's up like this, I want you to start to bring it down, placing the weight back into the toes, hands under shoulders. Pull up through the shoulders, drop the bottom even more, squeeze the glutes. If you are finding you haven't got enough strength, you pull those calves together. Feel the difference, holding that tummy in as if you're going to be punched. So I really want you to hold that stretch for 5, 4, squeeze 3, 2, 1, drop to the knees, come down into child's pose, squeezing back, nothing moves. No arms move, no legs move, just coming down and literally stretching through the shoulders, trying to take the forehead to the floor. Big deep breath in. As you exhale, coming back onto the wrists, the weight's over the wrists, then you're going to take the weight back into the toes, lower the glutes. Pull up through the shoulders so you haven't got winged shoulder blades. Scoop your bottom end, scoop it in so you've got a nice tight glutes, the legs are strong,
belly's strong, suck in the belly. And we're just going to hold this for a bit longer this time. So we're going to have 10, 9, 8. Keep scooping, keep pulling back. Try to hold out for as long as you can. Make sure the weight is in the toes. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down to the knees, pull back. And again, a nice child's pose, stretching through the shoulders. Okay, from here we're going to come down onto the floor into prone position. So we're going to try and work all the angles today, prone, supine, and on the side. So again, we're going to try going back into plank. So again, we're in exactly the same position where we were. And I want you to think about coming over the wrist. So we're going to just literally do a little rocking movement, keeping the shoulders strong, taking it down, just holding it. And we'll do a slight press. It's a Pilates press up. So you're going to come back over, squeeze, and just come down with a little elbow dip, sucking the tummy in, making sure the back doesn't arch. And this time we're going to go all the way down, all the way down. If you want to, you can come down on 3/4 lengths. That's absolutely fine. Just bringing it down slowly, under control, and coming all the way down onto the floor. So what I want you to think now is to place the hands into a diamond. 2 thumbs together, 2 fingers, placing it on the side, keeping the feet together. So I want you to keep the heels together, toes apart. And from here, relaxing the arms, inhale. Now you've got to think about that pelvic clock again. So again, think about squeezing the hips into the mat. So the glutes are slightly tight, but the biggest thing is you want your hip bones to be as close to those mat as possible. So from here, you're going to breathe in. As you exhale, relax the arms and just come up through the chest. So you keep your neck in alignment with the spine, squeezing down through the spine, so you're lifting with the chest. Keep the feet on the floor, squeezing the glutes to protect the lower back. Hold for 5, breathing out and coming back down. Now we've got 4 of these, so a little bit of preparation now. So I want you to breathe in through the nose. As you breathe in, zip, belly button to spine, squeeze the hips, and breathe out slowly. And just holding it, relax the shoulders, don't put the tension up here, taking them away from the ears, lengthening the back, squeezing and coming back down. Breathing out as you come back down, try to get the breath in. So inhale, zip, push the hip bones in, relax the arms, exhale, coming up, relaxing those shoulders, squeeze those heels together so you've got nice strength going through the glutes, holding out. And breathing down. One more. Inhale. Prepare, zip, belly button in, hips pushing onto the floor, keep the legs down, let the chest do the work, let the back do the work. We've all been working at home, not stretching out, your back will be tense. And then coming through. I'm going to do one more prone position here, taking the arms away this time. So again, we're trying to think about the shoulder blades. As I explained in an earlier video, that actually Joseph Pilates always worked on our girdle. So we have a shoulder girdle, hip girdle, pelvic girdle. So we always want to try to maintain all the strength in these 3 areas. So this time I want you to think about taking the arms behind and down by the body. So we're going to do a swan dive. So a partial swan dive, I should hasten to say. So we're going to keep the feet on the floor. So our foreheads are on the floor as well. Take the shoulders away and down. Inhale. As you exhale, just lift up through, keeping the feet down, shoulders back and away. So keeping the neck in alignment, looking at about 45 degrees in front of you, and squeezing down. Inhale, zip, squeeze the hips in. Exhale, lift, lengthen those arms, squeeze the shoulder girdles together. Keep the feet down, holding it down. Breathing out as you come up. Inhale, prepare, exhale, lengthen, hold there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and take it down. Your last one. Inhale, zip, exhale, squeeze. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And breathe it down. We should all now be feeling our lower back could be well stretched. So now placing the hands underneath, You're going to come back in a 3/4 length plank or a full plank. And again, it's all about keeping the core tight, no arched spine. Inhale, so as you exhale, push through the palms, hold it up, okay, you're up into full plank, bring one knee, two knees, so we're now in a side table. I'm hoping you can still see me, the sun coming through there. So now our pressure is on the wrists and the hands, and we just want to make sure, see if there's any discomfort in the wrists, and for some of us it's slightly arthritic, just pull the fingers back and stretch the hands through. So literally pulling the fingers through and just stretching out the wrists through there. So taking it back into table, so again, just keeping it all perpendicular, all nice and right angles. So again, hands under wrists, under shoulders, coming through, hips, knees, and feet are right angles. Trying to get your feet to relax on the toes on the mat. And now think about the back. So again, same thing works as before. We've got the pelvic clock, so you really want to think about belly button to spine, scooping, so we're doing a cat-cow exercise. So now just releasing any pressure from the lower back, having done those prone exercises, and coming back down. Still the same theory applies. Really want to zip, bring the belly button in, breathing out, so you want to keep all that core tension, tuck the chin in again, coming back down into an arch, so again scooping up, rounding through the spine, nice C, tuck the chin in and breathing out. Now whilst we're here we're going to do a half table but a bird dog, so I want you now to think about opposite arm, opposite leg. So, but we'll keep everything on the floor in this video, in this sequence. The next video where we'll do more intermediate advanced, we'll raise. But right now, I want you to be aware that the hips, like this part here, mustn't move. If you've got a cushion or something light which you can place on your back, that's fantastic. Because you imagine that that's a tray with some champagne glasses on it, and you do not want to get that moved. So what I don't want to see is arms and legs going and watching the hip move. Bit facetious, but I don't want that tipping. You've got to lock out, so you want to zip, belly button to spine, keep the tummy tight, and now just the arms and the legs coming out onto the floor. So you want to keep the hip level, you want to lengthen, keeping that on the floor. This is a nice straight arm. As you breathe back in, they come back to the same position they were. Check they were all right angles. Inhale. Other arm, other leg, extend, trying to lengthen without dropping the body, keeping the shoulders up as well and bringing it back in. That's one. So again, inhale, exhale, lengthen. Now I've slightly taken off here. I don't want to take it off on the floor at the moment. Just keep everything on the floor and bring it back in. Inhale, exhale. So again, keep that hip level. Don't let it bend. Don't let it tip, don't let it come off. Imagine that tray of champagne you're balancing on there. Suck in the belly. Keep that belly so tight. Inhale, exhale, just lengthen, trying to touch the walls, trying to touch further and further away because you want to open up the girdles. Remember, our body runs in oblique muscles as well, so we want to work every single muscle group. So you'll often find that people who have shoulder problems will often have hip problems as well, or something in the pelvic area. One more each side. This time if you want to lift, you can, but you want to lift, holding it there, long arm, lock, and literally 2 to 3, lengthen. So just lengthen without turning the hip, bringing it down. And inhale, lengthen, onto the floor first, check your positioning. If you want to lift, you lift, keeping everything long and narrow. The whole idea is you are going to go to right angles, but you're going to keep that arm and leg perpendicular, holding out, still holding on, tight, tight, tight to the belly button. And now just releasing, we're going to come down onto our side. So I'll now face the camera. This is always an interesting one when I'm trying to teach this in class, so please be aware of your positioning. So as you come down onto one side, I want you to think about the position of your feet against your bottom, so you want to be in a straight line. What I would be suggesting is you find the edge of your mat And lie down, literally, so you are lying at the edge of the mat, so you can tell whether or not you're straight. This is so megally important before we start. So feet in line with the bottom, the knees are forward. Coming down onto your arm or on the floor, it's up to you. We're going to do clam, butterfly. So I want you to think about the hips. The hips have got to be rolled forward. You want to zip, belly button to spine, scoop in. And all we're doing is lifting the top leg. So if you're finding you're doing this, it will mean that you're rotating the pelvis. We don't want that. We want to hold and down. The muscle we're working is the glute med. So this muscle that runs, a small muscle that runs across there, which this is the main muscle for us to be able to get up and down off floors when we're falling. So you really want to make sure this muscle is very strong. Again, the hand can come in front of the chest, but the biggest thing is we make sure those hips are facing forward. And you can do about 20 of these, just pushing through, working that, holding it at the top. Don't worry about numbers. This is much more about form and feeling it in the muscle. Okay, we'll do another 3, 2, and hold it up. Now, to begin with, if you're new to Pilates, start off at a 45-degree angle. So you want to extend the legs, scoop, belly button to spine, keep this zipping, keep everything locked in here. And you're going to keep those hips rolled forward. And from this position, you've got your hand down here. You're just going to raise the top leg. But as you raise, you've gone into a Charlie Chaplin style, so the heels are together. And you're trying to rotate the hip in its socket without the whole pelvis turning. So you are literally hip rotation, hip movement, and literally lifting straight leg raises. As you come up, think about lengthening the leg. Think about pushing towards the wall. So you're going to hold it for, you can do a nice little point on the foot there, 5, and you should really be feeling this now, right into the glute med, holding that help right to the top. And we'll just do some little circles, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, holding it, and then just push back into the glutes. You're literally pushing back in it, very small movements. 5, 4, 3, 2, and bringing the leg down. Hopefully you should start to feel that muscle working. What you can do, if you find that easy, is you can come back, because the whole idea is we are going to eventually be doing this in a completely level and neutral core into what we call a full torpedo, where we'll be coming up and taking it right down and rotating and just letting the core control us without any use of hands. But we will be moving on to that into our next course. So now we're going to roll over onto our back. So to begin with, I want you to think about coming forward to the edge of the mat, keeping your feet into alignment with that. And I'm going to come forward here to begin with. I shall come this way so that I can see what's happening. So you keep your feet level on the floor. You're now going to C-spine, exactly what we've been doing before, down the wall. Holding the hands out, don't cling onto the legs. You can use the backs of the legs as support, but don't cling, because we want to act through the core. So big deep breath in. As we exhale, zip, and we're going to try to roll down just a little bit, just a little way, comfortable. Suck in the belly, squeeze, keep breathing. And as you come up, 5, we're going to hold 4, 3, coming up. A leg extension, pushing the legs away, straight back and forward fold, and just trying to stretch out our legs and our spine, bringing the feet back in. Now, if you've got a ball, you can place the ball between your knees or place your fist. And then just keep your feet on the floor. Do not let the feet raise. Sucking in, holding down, trying to go a little bit further. Suck in the belly, let the tummy be doing the work, let the core be doing the work. We're going to hold it for that. 5, keep the neck in alignment. 4, 3, 2, rolling back up, pushing the knees away, straight back, lift through the chest and taking it forward. Nice little stretch here. Coming back in. So again, this time we'll roll down on the floor. So again, placing the fist between the knees, if you wish, or a ball, holding it out. Now you're going to roll down. So holding down. So suck it in and then breathe out. Breathe out really slowly. So pushing each vertebrae, keep the shoulders away. Keep the shoulders away, it's nice and relaxed. 4, 3, 2, and then getting down onto the floor into a nice full body stretch. So it's a real full legs, full arms, trying to go as long as you can, keeping those shoulders on the floor. So whilst we're here, we'll do a Angels in the Snow, which for many of my clients will know this is one of my favourite exercises. So this is really about opening up the front of the chest, but more about squeezing the scapula. So the first thing you want to do is to get everything into that right angle, so shoulders, elbows, trying to get the arms onto the floor. And from here, you just squeeze those elbows down. Just squeeze the elbows onto the floor. Now we've got to think about what's happening to our back. Is our back lifting? Now, it can work with a natural spine, so again, I want you to think about the zip. So back passage to front passage, squeeze inwards and upwards, belly button to spine, and holding it here. Inhale. As you exhale, you're going to try to keep the elbows on the floor and lift through to match to the top of the head. So your hands touch, keeping those feet down, zip, inhale and breathe out. Coming out, keeping the elbows down onto the floor as much as you can. Look at the wrist, feel that if there's any tension. Here, inhale, exhale, lifting, holding, squeezing through the shoulders, pushing, squeezing the shoulder girdles together. Keep that back, don't let the back arch too much. Keep that belly button to spine so you've got that lockout as well. Inhale, exhale, keep breathing. Anybody who's got very stiff shoulders will find this challenging. I've had surgery on one and the other one's not looking too good, but it just is one of the best exercises you can do to really restore shoulder movement. And coming through from here and bringing the arms over, and here we can just literally look up to the sky or the ceiling, depending where you are when you're doing this, and I want you to lift one shoulder girdle off and the second shoulder girdle. And this may seem a very simple exercise, but what's happening to your hips, to the pelvic girdle? Are they staying central? You really don't want the hips to be moving. You're just isolating each shoulder and now both. So taking both shoulders off and placing the back on the floor. Both shoulders up. Don't lift them. Don't lift them by the ears. All you're doing is literally pushing them back onto the floor. Zip, exhale, and holding it here. Bringing the arms down. You can take them out to a T, slightly there as we work the glutes. Again, if you've got a ball, I always suggest getting a Pilates ball, but you can put a cushion, a towel between your knees to make sure that your knees are a tennis ball distance away. I say tennis ball, that's not a rugby ball or football, but just enough to keep your hips in alignment. So many of us whose glutes aren't working, the legs will fall open, you want to do this, or one will fall. So we really want to now squeeze these glutes. So we're going to place the weight into the heels of the feet and think about scooping from the bottom of the spine. So you're going to lift through the glutes, then it's going to come through the back, middle, and to the top of the spine. So literally holding it there into a glute bridge. Hands can come down. If you want a bit of a challenge, take the hands over and holding it there. And then inhale as you exhale, lift and push down vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae, making sure you come all the way down. Tilt the pelvis away, scoop it, inhale, exhale, holding it up. Now I want you to think, if you've got a towel between your legs, I want you to think about squeezing and pulsing, making the glutes work, sucking that belly in. I don't want too much of an arched spine, you want to keep that working with your neutral spine. So again, locking out and squeezing the ball, squeezing that towel. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, squeeze, and now roll down the spine. Breathing out vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae, pushing each vertebrae into the mat, all the way down. That was a bit flat from me. Scooping through. One more time. Taking it up, all the way up now. And again, I'm going to slightly advance this. If any of my clients are watching, I want you to think about squeezing. If you've got the ball or the towel between your legs, that's fantastic. All you're going to do is lift one leg and extend, making sure the hip stays in alignment. I don't want any dropped hips. You're going to hold it up. The pressure is all through this glute. Hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2. Take the foot down. Keep both glutes up. Now, think, have we got any stress going on in the neck? No. No stress in the chest, holding everything away. Inhale. As you exhale, squeeze the glute that you're going to stand on. Hold it and extend the leg. Don't let the hips drop. Hold the hips up. 5, 4, 3, 2. Bring it down. Hold it up. Do 5 pulses. 5, 4, 3, 2, and now rolling down through the spine. Push, 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 push. Breathing out. Making sure you get all the vertebrae down one at a time. And then bringing those knees right up. Right up. Stretch out. Roll. Roll like a ball or a cosmic egg, and just rolling out through the sides, just pulling the neck in, holding there, squeezing, extending one leg, extend the second leg into a full body stretch. We'll do one more exercise whilst we're down here into a single leg preparation, because this will get us ready for a double preparation, so a double leg. So I want you to hold now one leg into a half a table. So again, it's literally coming up 90 degrees and holding it there. As you bring the other leg in, inhale, I want you to think about your back. As soon as we take 2 legs off the floor, the belly button must really push the lower back into the floor. So you're coming up into both into a table, one slide down, one slide up, and you can hold this. So inhale, bring the other leg in, imprint, get that lower back on the floor, take the other leg down. If this is too much, don't take the legs off at the same time. So all you're going to do, you can roll up the top of your spine, holding onto the calf. Inhale, as you exhale, you can bring the leg in, exchange, and take the leg down, holding up through the top of the body. Inhale, as you exhale, take it down, extend, bringing in this leg, just a little squeeze. Inhale, as you exhale, keeping the tension, you can place your neck down. Inhale, as you exhale, bringing both legs up. So both legs now are in a table. So now I want you to think about imprinting. So again, push your belly button down so that the back is literally flat against the floor. So we're going to take the hands down so you can see it's a right angle. If this is too much, you take the feet down. It's fine. You can hold it here, take the hands away, extend through, and we'll just do the last exercise at the table. I think I said the last exercise was the last one. So hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the big secret here is no tension in the neck. Keep squeezing. Push that belly button down because you're working the core, holding it, holding that position. And keep holding. And again, any pain in the neck, any discomfort, you place the feet down and just hold from here. Okay? If you want to advance it, you take the feet up, nice straight legs into an angle, and hold it here. So we're going to do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, bringing the legs in, holding it into the ball and into a full body stretch. Okay, just in case you may have thought I'd forgotten, we have got the other side to do for our clam. So just moving into our last couple of exercises now, you'll be pleased to know. So again, line your back up against the edge of the mat. Make sure the feet are in line with the bottom, coming back down either into a half or into a full, and now keeping the hips rolled forward, scoop in, belly button to spine, place the hand down, and just the top knee lifts and down. So again, you'll feel this through here. For my clients who are watching, please imagine that I will be sticking my fingers into the muscle to make sure that you know where it is, and holding it up, scoop in the tummy, just keep squeezing, Normally we do about 20 of these, really trying to strengthen this muscle, but don't let the hips roll. And make sure that everything is facing forward. Suck in the belly. Just keep squeezing, squeezing all the time. We'll do 5, 4, 3, 2, and the last one. And now extend the legs. So you can either, as we did before, extend to 40 degrees, so holding it out into a Charlie Chaplin style, or you can bring the feet into alignment with the body, whichever you prefer. This is the easier way, and it's much better to get this way done properly and the technique right. And now we're going to do single leg raises. So again, hips have got to be facing forward. We want to rotate the hips as much as we can. So that Charlie Chaplin foot is now sticking up into the sky, hopefully, because we want to rotate the bone in there, but we don't want to take the hip over. So as soon as you feel your hips falling backwards, or it feels too easy, just you're doing it wrong. Just bring it back. And again, if you're coming into a full body line-up, you want to make sure to squeeze and lift, holding it. Ooh. Making sure you're sucking in the core. The whole idea is, of course, we're into full extension. I'm a little bit crushed against the wall here. But the whole idea is we're taking that leg up, taking the leg up, ready to go into some more advanced exercises as we get more skilled at the Pilates. So this time you're going to hold up and you're just going to rotate into the glute. Okay, so again, don't rotate in the pelvis. It is just literally the hip muscle that's holding it. So if you're out at 45, that's absolutely fine. You just keep pushing into the glute. Ooh, bit of wind there. 3, squeeze 2, squeeze 1, hold, and bring it down. Really good work. We've been really working all the body today, pushing it through. So we're just coming up into a few stretches now. So again, taking hold of the right leg and bringing the knees together, and now squeezing the heel into the bottom, but keep those knees together, no pressure anywhere. Just stretch out the quad, just stretch out those quads. Again, a lot of us have been sitting because we haven't been able to get out and walk, so it is a really good stretch. Lengthen, hold, taking hold of the other leg. Many of you that know, I have had so many operations on this left knee, it still amazes me that I can get my leg to actually still go back this angle, but it is good. It's a lovely thigh stretch. Squeezing the hips into the floor. Don't let the knees wander. We want to get a full body stretch on that. Bringing it down, taking the hands up. Inhale, coming back, pushing up into table. Go back into our cat and cow. So literally just taking any pressure out of the back, chin to chest. Pushing through and breathing out. Just releasing any pressure, lower back, neck. And from here, taking the hands slightly forward, we're going into a downward dog. For my yoga friends, or my yogis, you're going to come up, you're going to try to get the heels down on the floor. So you're going to stick the bottom up in the air, suck in the tummy, push back through the hands, push back through, open up the armpits here, so it's making it long, and pushing the hips back to try to get those heels onto the floor. So holding it down here, let the neck relax, let the head relax, just stretching the hamstrings. I do love this stretch. So hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, soften the knees. Walking your hands back into the feet, holding it here. So we now should have a nice bend on the knees, keeping the hands flat. So try to keep a little squat knee here, try not to let the knees come out. Inhale, chin to chest, round the shoulders, suck in the belly, and literally roll up, breathing out. Let everything relax. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming up, and now just push the shoulders back, bringing the arms up. Start where we started, into our star, squeezing the scapula back. Exhale, holding it out. And here comes a little bit of rain, so just a good time to finish. Breathing out, and thank you very much. And tomorrow we'll do more of these exercises. Thank you all.